The Board of Electrologists and Body Art Practitioners meeting is convening at 9:04 a.m. on October 20th, 2025. This meeting is being held in person and through MS Teams video conference and is being recorded. The recording will be posted to the internet for public viewing. I will now call roll. Audrey Jones, I'm here. Roxana Tyson.
Oh, I'm present.
Nathan Morelli.
Here.
Rebecca Flom.
Here.
Brian Gooden.
Here.
Members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. Board members are asked to not use the chat feature during meetings. The Health Licensing Office asks that individuals attending through MS Teams keep their phones muted and cameras off during the entire meeting or until they are given an opportunity to comment during the public and interested parties feedback period, if indicated on the agenda. Public comment is limited to matters listed on the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Public members wishing to speak, please sign in on the roster sheet available in the room or email Josh Page at josh.page@oha.oregon.gov and provide your first and last name. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business.
We didn't know that Alzheimer's and John Garrison aren't here.
No. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the board. This is Bob Bothwell, the Director of the Health Licensing Office. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. If everybody could take a look at the agenda, or if you already have, we need one person other than the chair to motion for approval of the agenda and then another person to second.
This is Rebecca Flaum. I move to approve the agenda.
This is Nathan Morelli. I approve the move. Or second the motion.
Right.
And I say a motion has been made. I will now call roll.
Perfect.
Awesome. Audrey Jones in favor. Roxana Tyson.
Yes.
Nathan Morelli.
Yes.
Rebecca Flom.
Yes.
Brian Gooden.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. The next item on the agenda is an introduction. Roxana, would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to HLO and the board?
Hello, my name is Roxana Tyson. Is that it? Do you want me to elaborate at all, or I'm happy to be on the board. I thank you all.
And you're on the board in what position? Sorry.
I am on the board as a board member. I'm a tattoo artist. Yeah, Roxana Tyson. I'm a tattoo artist. I specialize in permanent cosmetics. I've been practicing since 1996.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Audrey, will you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Audrey Jones. I'm a licensed electrologist, and I don't even know how long I've been on the board, but it feels like a long time. So it's been wonderful to participate and help out.
Thank you. Nathan?
Hey, Nathan Morelli, body piercer since 07.
Thank you. Rebecca?
Rebecca Flaum. I'm a tattoo artist since 2019.
Thank you. And Brian?
Good morning, Brian Gooden. I'm a public health nurse and national certified infection control practitioner. So I'm the healthcare representative on the board.
Okay. Roxana, I think you already met Anne this morning, if I'm correct. And my name is Bob Bothwell. I'm the director here at the Health Licensing Office. I've been at the Health Licensing Office now about 13 years. We have with us our licensing manager, Tina Russell.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Tina, and I've been with the Health Licensing Office for 29 years. Welcome.
We also have, I thought we had Derek on there. Is Derek on there?
Yeah, he joined through the room.
Yep, I'm here.
Introduce yourself since we're going to be hearing from you today, Derek, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Derek Foltz. I'm the qualification analyst here at the Health Licensing Office, and I've been here almost 7 years.
Chrissy?
Hi, I'm Chrissy. I'm the executive assistant to Bob, and I primarily do board membership recruitment. So, Roxana, you should be very familiar with me.
Travis?
Hello, everybody. My name is Trampashuk. I'm the Regulatory Operations Manager here at the Health Licensing Office. I've been with the office for about 17 years. I've seen this board go from a board and a program combined to the board and all kinds of changes. So we'll be talking more later during the regulatory report and during our non-public session.
And Kristen Williams, will you please introduce yourself quickly to the board? You're muted.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kristen Williams. I'm an attorney with the Oregon Department of Justice, and I represent some of the boards and programs with the Health Licensing Office. And I share with another one of our attorneys, but for the time being, I'll be working with this board. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Chair, members, if you're ready, we can move on to items for board action.
Sounds great.
Okay. The first thing we need to do is approve the 2026 meeting dates. And those dates are February 23 at 9 a.m. and October 19 at 9 a.m. So if everybody takes a look at their calendar, they can take a look and see if those dates are available to them at this time. We'll need a motion to approve the dates and times and a second, and then we'll have to do a vote.
This is Nathan Morelli. I motion to approve the dates for 2026.
This is Rebecca Flom. I second the motion to approve the dates.
A motion has been made. I'll call roll. Audrey Jones, aye. Roxana Tyson,
Aye.
Nathan Morelli,
Aye.
Rebecca Flom,
Aye.
Brian Gooden.
Aye.
Okay, perfect. The motion carried. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of chair and vice chair. Currently, we have Audrey Jones as the chairperson. What I'd like to do, Chair, if you don't mind, is go through our current board membership status and let everybody know what everybody's standing is. And so before we go into making motions for chair and vice chair.
That sounds great.
Thank you. Okay, it's Bob Bothwell. So the first member on the board I have is Audrey Jones, currently the chairperson, and the second term. And that term expires March 14 of 2029 and cannot reappoint. Paul Thomas is in a first term. It expires June 29 of 27 and can reappoint. Roxana Tyson is in a first term. It expires March 4, 2029 and can reappoint. Nathan Morelli in a first term. It expires 3/28/27, can reappoint. John Dickerson is in a first term. It expires April 30, 27, can reappoint. Rebecca Flom is in a first term. It expires 6/30/29, can reappoint. And Brian Gooden is in a first term that expires 6/30/28 and can reappoint. So we're in good shape for a fresh new board. So is there any discussion with or a nomination for our board chair?
This is Audrey Jones, and just so everyone knows, I don't mind continuing to do the board chair with the scripts and everything. I feel like I've just now started figuring it out. So I don't mind if you all want me to keep doing it, but I also don't mind if somebody else wants to take over.
Thank you.
This is Nathan Morelli. I just nominate Audrey Jones to continue. I agree. She hasn't done it for very long.
As Roxana Tyson, I second that.
Okay. So let's do a roll call chair that you've been nominated in second to continue as chair.
This is Audrey Jones, and a motion has been made. I'll call roll. Audrey Jones, aye. Roxana Tyson,
Aye.
Nathan Morelli,
Aye.
Rebecca Flom,
Aye.
and Brian Gooden.
Aye.
Okay. And that leaves us with approval of the vice chair. Currently, it is Paul Thomas, and as I read, he's in a first term and it expires June of 2027. And he can reappoint. So somebody can nominate themselves, or they can renominate Paul Thomas, but if he informs us that he cannot do it, then we may need to come back in do the vote again for a new vice chair. These recommendations or discussion?
This is Nathan.
Oh, go ahead, Nathan.
Oh, I was just going to renominate Paul.
Okay, so Nathan nominated Paul.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we can get a second, please.
I second that. This is Rebecca Flom. I second it.
This is Audrey Jones. A motion has been made. I'll call roll. Audrey Jones, aye. Roxana Tyson,
Aye.
Nathan Morelli,
Aye.
Rebecca Flom,
Aye.
and Brian Gooden.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. This is Bob Bothwell, the director at the Health Licensing Office. The next item on the agenda are the reports. And the first item in the reports would have been the board membership. So Chrissy's off the hook. I guess she doesn't have to do that. And I'll just move right into the licensing and fiscal statistical reports, if that's okay.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you. So I'm on slide 17 if you're following along on your computer. And tattoo artists license issued, we've had 112 in Q1 of fiscal year 2026. And our body piercing, especially level piercing, we've had 3 in Q1 of 2026 licenses issued, that is. Earlobe technician license issued, 17 in Q1 of 2026. Electrologists, we issued 7 licenses in fiscal year 2026 Q1. Licenses renewed. It's a good sign. 399 of the over 500 of approximately 528. 399 were online and 129 on paper. Standard body piercing, specialty level piercings. We've had 25 on paper, 10 still doing it online. Earlobe technicians, all online. 6 we've issued, or excuse me, renewed. Electrologists, 25 on paper, 7 online. Licenses by age and gender.
Hey, Bob, sorry to interrupt you, but it's 7 on paper, 25 online.
What did I say?
You're saying opposite. Sorry.
Nope, I stand corrected. 25 online, 7 by paper. Then on slide 25, we're looking at age and gender. You can see that way out there in right field. One license has been maintained for someone between the age of 82 and 89. The total of 3,378 licenses. And as of the date the report was compiled. On slide 26, the first picture, body art facilities, this is an average. This is not the actual number. 1,37.8 average facilities out there. 110 on average earlobe piercing technician licenses. Special body piercing 1 and 2. Average of 20.6. Electrologists 133.5. Tattoo artists 2,658. Standard body piercing 99.3. On slide 29 is the fiscal report. Board's doing very well. We have a beginning cash balance of $1.1 million, revenues of $95,939, expenditures $83,134, net operations $12,805, with any cash balance of $1,135,376. And that was as of September 24, 2025. Any questions on the fiscal report?
This is Audrey Jones. I have been curious with the amount of money that we have, like just as our cash balances, is there a specific number that we just always need to maintain, or is it something where like if we start to continually have excess funds that we are going to cut fees? Because it looks like we've increased our ending cash balance, by almost $100,000 over the past couple of years.
So yeah, we don't want HLO, and the board does not want to be the bank.
Right.
So I think you're right. I can have our fiscal analyst take a look and see what kind of discount may be available out there.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
For renewals. I'm sorry, Chair, I talked over you. What were you saying? Audrey?
Oh, no, I was just saying that'd be awesome if there's, I really don't know much about the fiscal aspects of the board. And so it was just something I've been curious about for the past couple meetings, seeing these numbers, if it's something that, do we reevaluate fees or is there a specific reason that we need to have a specific number? I don't have any knowledge of that. So it'd be great to look into it if that's something that could help benefit our community members that are paying the fees for licensing and whatnot.
Understood. Yeah, so one of the things that we are cautious of is if we have a big case or something that could really count. So we want to be comfortable, but I will have our fiscal analyst take a look at it and give us some projections on what it might look like over the next biennium.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. Next item on the agenda is the regulatory report. Chuck, you want to call on camera, please?
Well, hello, everybody again. This is Trampus to do the regulatory report. So what you've got here is you've got these 3 boxes going on, especially for the new board member. I might go over a little more detail about this. So you've got cases open and close here in this left-hand box. You have a lot of different licensing types, so that's why you've got all of these different columns: body art facility, electrologist, piercing specialty level 1, and so on. And those show who the license type that the complaint is against. So you've got, like I said, 3 biennium. That these are 2-year blocks. The current biennium, the 2027 biennium, is the one we're currently in. It started in basically July 1st, 2025. So we've just started into it, but we have actually had a fair amount of complaints come in just for that. Or no, I'm sorry. We've only had about 18 complaints come in, but we don't know how those numbers will bear out as we see them go through the whole biennium. So you can see on the top part, those are the cases that are open, and the bottom section is cases that are closed, and then that low gray line at the bottom is the total number of cases that came in for that biennium, open and closed. So you can see the 2023 biennium, we had 55 cases come in, and 49 of them are closed, 6 of them are still hanging on. The 2025 biennium, which we just got through, we had 85 cases come in, and 54 of those are still open and 31 are closed. And then the newest biennium, you can see we had 18 come in, 8 are still open, or 10 are still open, and 8 are actually already closed. So you can see 158 of those complaints came in over those 3 biennium. On the right-hand side, you'll see complaints by type, and this gives us a sense of what types of complaints. They're kind of sweeping categories. You've got one hanging on from an old COVID complaint. That would have been the 2023 biennium. And then you have licensing concerns. That actually can encompass anything from somebody being inactive to somebody being unlicensed. So a fair amount of the complaints that come in for this board are actually unlicensed individuals or alleged unlicensed individuals. Safety and sanitation, that's a pretty broad category as well. It covers all kinds of things from, somebody just says, I got an infection, or just somebody says, I was in this shop and it was dirty. So that can be any kind of safety sanitation. And then, as you can see, some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Services provided are usually something that has to do with the actual service. Sometimes it can kind of cross over to safety and sanitation, like I got an infection or something like that. Or sometimes it's just, I don't like the tattoo I got, which we may or may not have much jurisdiction over. Complaints by type. So we have 18 that were anonymous out of the 158, 11 were clients, and 129 were other. So that's a big group. That can be anything. That can be another tattoo artist. That can be somebody's friend. That can be all kinds of things. So, so that's the regulatory report. I can say that the regulatory. This is for people who have actually complained. So this report reflects all the people, anybody. So when somebody files a complaint, they're not happy with the tattoo shop for whatever reason, or they found somebody working unlicensed, they'll send in an actual complaint. These are those. They come in through various methods. We open up an actual complaint, assign it a number, and then it gets assigned to an investigator, and they actually look into that situation. Some of the cases get closed on screening if they're super low level, or they just don't, like low level is they don't really, there's no actual alleged violation of laws or rules. They're complaining about something we don't have regulation over. So once those complaints get through, this board has a lot of individual already set civil penalties. So if it's got a set civil penalty and we find a violation that's covered by that set civil penalty, that's what we use for the disciplinary action. If it doesn't have a set civil penalty, or we're not sure about the violations, then we'll bring them to the board, and the board reviews those. And then aside from all this, there's a whole nother world of inspections. We go out and do preemptive inspections inside of the facilities where we go out. And if you're a tattoo artist or an electrologist, you've probably experienced that. Or our inspectors come out and we actually go through go through the facility and go through your records and things like that, and look for compliance in that way. So does anybody have any questions about this report or about regulatory in general? No? Okay. Let's go back to the meeting.
Thank you, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Chair, members, if you're ready to move on, we can move into policy.
Hi, board. This is Ann Thompson. I'm the policy analyst for this particular board. And our qualifications analyst, Derek Foltz, who's on the line, had some discussion that he wanted to have with you all about the current tattoo curriculum and if anything needs to be adjusted. So with that, Derek, take it away.
Hi, everybody. This is Derek Foltz. I hope everyone has had a chance to look at the course of study, and if not, does anyone need a couple minutes to look it over? Okay, so just a little history. This particular document was originally created back in January of 2018, so we're looking at over 7 years since it's been reviewed. What I'd like to hear from the board is, does the board feel that this is still a current document, and does it reflect today's world? But before we go in there, I'm not expecting the board to do a deep dive, a line-by-line review today. What would happen is if the board feels that there are areas that need to be updated, I would gather a committee of qualified professionals. We would look it over, we would come up with a final draft, and then bring it to the board for a final review and approval. So with that being said, are there any areas of this course of study that the board feels need to be looked at?
This is Rebecca Flaum, tattoo artist. I read through it quickly, and what's interesting is it doesn't seem to actually match the curriculum I was taught in 2019. It actually looks a lot better than that. So I don't know if it hadn't been implemented yet or what was going on, but this feels a lot more up to date and correct for over what I had been taught.
And this is Anne. If I can facilitate the discussion a little bit, sometimes it helps. Thanks for letting me speak, Derek. To start at the very beginning and say, okay, are the hours are the hours reasonable for minimum competency? And then when you get down into the hours, say if the hours work, is the division of hours kind of, yeah, as Derek said, reflective of today's world? And if you think in today's world, folks need a little bit more in one area, a little bit less in another. So you can just kind of start at the top and work your way down. You don't need to get into the weeds straight away, if that helps you approach it. I know there's a lot.
The chair, members of the board, this is Bob. And, you know, like Derek said, it's not something you have to respond to today. If you're working on a client and, oh my gosh, something comes to mind, you can reach out to us. Don't reach out to each other, please, but just send an email and let us know your thoughts to myself, Ann, or Derek, and we'll share it where it needs to be shared. But this, you know, we do understand this is a lot to digest today.
This is Rebecca Flaum again. I did just want to say, I think that we could use more hours of training for tattoo artists. I do feel like, especially things like sanitation could use some more time, and some of the design and color stuff, and really process isn't really covered. So I recommend maybe getting some people together to talk about expanding the hours.
Okay, and just for clarification, this is Derek. When you say process, what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when I was in training, they kind of skipped over the actual use of the machines. They would tell you about the parts and pieces and how to put together and things, but they didn't spend much time in practicing motion or depth or the actual like interaction with the skin. There was some practical, of course for that, but there wasn't a lot of theory, a lot of explanation in words.
Would that be more of a school issue and not the guidelines?
It could be, but I don't see anything specifically referencing that in the list at the beginning. It's possible I haven't read through it completely. It's possible I missed a section, but it seems to me like it would be something that should be called out as a separate item.
This is Roxana Tyson. I just wanted to comment on what Rebecca's talking about. And to me, that sounds like, I don't know if this is a board issue, but it's like there's a gap between the curriculum and what the schools actually carry through. So I agree with her. I think I've witnessed that as well. And then I just want to take an opportunity to say that, I come from a background of permanent cosmetics, and I've read through, but I don't see that we have anything specific to tattooing, the eyebrows, the eyeliner, the lips. And I have a lot to say about that. Today's probably not the day, but I do think that we need to address the industry of permanent cosmetics and the different safety concerns as opposed to body art.
This is Audrey Jones, and I'm so sorry, I forgot who was facilitating. Was it Derek?
Yeah.
Okay. It does sound like we probably do need to get together some sort of group that could discuss this further in detail and break it down into what needs to be changed potentially. As an electrologist, I have some opinions, but I feel like it definitely needs to be more targeted towards tattooers and maybe getting some community members who are interested and involved in that in the industry to talk about this, because it definitely sounds like maybe there's some things that need to be added or taken away.
All right, great. I don't know if anyone else has anything they'd like to talk about, but if not, then we will work on getting a committee together and getting this updated. And then potentially by the next board meeting, we'll have something to show you guys.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Derek, and thank you, everybody, for the discussion. Chair, the next item on the agenda is public and interested parties feedback. And do you have your script?
I have my script, and let me just get to it real quick.
That's good, because I was looking for mine, I can't find it.
Oh. Okay, let's see here. Okay. This is Audrey Jones, and at this time, the Board of Electrologists and Body Art Practitioners will hear public and interested parties' feedback. Public comment is limited to matters listed on the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes and will not be allowed if they are disruptive to the board's conduct in its business. And if you are called on to comment, HLO staff will request the public member to unmute themselves. The chairperson and HLO reserve the right to end a person's comment early and have HLO staff mute the public member if the comment does not pertain to matters listed on the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Are there any members of the public who wish to comment? If so, please raise your hand and or use the MS Teams raise hand feature and wait to be acknowledged.
I see nobody.
Chair, we have no hands. Nobody acknowledging they want to speak.
Okay, is that the last item or do we move on to?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's not the last item on the agenda.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, I gotta pull up my agenda again.
Next item on the agenda, is to deliberate on a contested case. So we will need to move some folks around and make sure there's only board members and staff involved. And you need to read your script as well first.
All right, I have that script ready. Should I go ahead and read it now before people leave or?
Yes, while the recording's going.
Okay. The Board of Electrologists and Body Art Practitioners will now leave the public meeting pursuant to ORS 192.690, parentheses 1, parentheses B, to deliberate on a contested case at 9:40 a.m. on October 20th, 2025. The deliberation will not be recorded and no final decisions will be made.
Okay, give us a moment, please.
The Board of Electrologists and Body Art Practitioners will now reconvene open session at 10 o'clock a.m. No final decisions were made and no votes were taken. The public will be moved back from the breakout room and representatives of the media may once again report all board discussions and actions.
Thank you very much, Chair. The next item on the agenda is other board business. Is there anything that any board member would like HLO to take a look at? We did discuss fees briefly, and I did mention we will have an analyst look at it. Any other topics? Okay, if there is nothing else, Chair, if we are done, you can adjourn the meeting.
Okay, this is Audrey Jones. The Board of Electrologists and Body Art Practitioners meeting is adjourned at 10:01 a.m.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much, everybody.